Assalamu alaikum. I am Muhammad Jawad Saif from Government College University, Faisalabad. The topic of this presentation is chemistry in everyday life. Dear viewers, we are surrounded by chemistry, but most of us are not aware of that fact. Chemistry has influenced our life in such a way that we don't even realize when we come across chemicals at every moment. Uh, Chemistry is everywhere around us. Even uh, we ourselves are beautiful chemical creations, and all our activities are controlled by chemicals, whether these are our voluntary actions, involuntary thinking, our emotions. Every aspect of our life is mainly controlled by chemistry. So chemistry is everywhere. Uh, for example, when we see the process of combustion, something is burning. So essentially, that is a chemical reaction where fuel is reacting with oxygen to produce energy or heat. Similarly, we notice rusting, the phenomena of rusting in our everyday life. And what is rusting? Rusting is a chemical reaction where the metal reacts with atmospheric oxygen to produce metal oxide, that is the rust layer. Similarly, digestion in our body is a chemical reaction where in acidic medium our body enzymes react with the food material and converts into simpler units of proteins, carbohydrates, and this is a totally chemical process. Photosynthesis is essential for the existence of life on this earth. Plants use sunlight. Plants absorb basic nutrients from soil, and then with the process of photosynthesis, plants convert uh, the basic ingredients, simple ingredients like nitrogenous compounds or carbon dioxide from air, uh, water which the roots absorb, and by the process of photosynthesis, plants convert it into complex compounds like carbohydrates, like proteins, in fruits, in juices that we use. So, photosynthesis is essentially a chemical process, the transformation of water and carbon dioxide into glucose in the plants by the action of photosynthesis is essentially a chemical process. I am giving here a few examples only, otherwise there are a lot of examples in almost every aspect of life where we can see chemistry in action. Batteries we use in our mobiles, in the UPS, in our vehicles. These batteries work on chemical principles where energy is chemically stored, and when required, that chemically stored energy is converted back and we use it. Similarly, fermentation, it's bakery or other processes. Fermentation is also a chemical process where microorganisms take part and they chemically convert the nature of food material into fermented products. Even the most simplest action of washing, it involves chemistry. The soap interacts with dirt and oils and impurities on our hands, and that interaction of soap with the impurities, with the dust, with the dirt, that interaction is purely of chemical nature. In baking, we love to eat cakes, we love the materials. In baking, even uh, Baking is a chemical process where carbon dioxide gas is released and we get the proper texture. So chemistry is everywhere around us. There is no way to escape the importance of chemistry. So we can very safely say that we are surrounded by chemistry in everyday life. Chemistry has influenced our life so much that we do not even realize that when we are coming across chemicals. Look at these processes. When we eat food, digestion is taking place. We don't even know that there is a chemical process happening in our stomach. When we burn the wood, we burn the petroleum gas. Combustion involves the chemical reaction, the rusting. I have given all these examples. The principle of chemistry have been used for the benefits of mankind. So foods we eat have to do with chemistry. Other nutrients like vitamins and minerals and water are all important chemical compounds. The process of respiration removes oxygen from the environment while adding carbon dioxide and water. Plants use these to carry out photosynthesis while releasing oxygen and water again out of their leaves. Uh, the acidity or basicity that is made in pH, the pH of various things in the home have to do with chemistry from the acidic orange juice to the alkaline bleach. When we eat foods, hydrolysis or digestion occurs in the alimentary canal. This is a series of chemical reactions using enzymes to change complex chemicals in food to end products that can be absorbed by the body cell. We like to drink, we like to take tea or drink coffee. The caffeine in the coffee and tea we drink affects our mood and keeps us awake. Caffeine is a chemical compound. These are all chemical through a chemical change, which is why cooked food often tastes different from raw food because the chemical nature of compounds have been changed. Baking is a great example of chemistry and it's just as precise. Too much or too little of any ingredient throws off the reactions needed for baking. So this is a very classical example of a chemical change. The dough won't rise or the cake will be flat. Using chemistry allows us to understand that ice floats because it is less dense than the water that created it. Chemical reactions are important to everyday life. The drugs people use are all extracted from plants, are synthesized in laboratories, and that is the work of chemistry. These are the chemists who synthesize the drugs. If you look at the chemical structure of the drugs on the leaflet that is provided with your prescription, you will see there are chemical structures drawn. So majority of the drugs, almost all of the drugs are the work of chemistry. Our understanding of chemistry gives us the technology to add vitamins to food. Vitamin water, vitamin fortified cereals, vitamin fortified flours are all examples of chemistry in food. When we consume soft drinks like Coca-Cola and other beverages, chemistry is there. When soda freezes up, that's chemistry too because it is releasing carbon dioxide. So chemistry is not something that only lives in the lab only. It is something that we encounter hundreds of times, hundreds and thousands of times each day. Knowing how chemistry works will give us a greater appreciation of the complex processes behind some of the simple looking things. Uh, let's see some processes and try to find out how chemistry is involved. So, uh, in cooking involves chemistry. Almost in all cooking steps, chemistry is involved. Uh, Chemistry explains how food changes as we cook it, how it rots, how to preserve food, how our body uses the food we eat, and how ingredients interact to make food. So, this all comes in the domain of chemistry. Because we're talking about food, so chemistry is not only involved in cooking or eating or digesting, chemistry is involved even in food security. We use fertilizers to increase the crop yields. So, what are fertilizers? Fertilizers are chemical compounds. For example, ammonium nitrate. For example, diphosphates. All of these compounds are these are chemical compounds. These which are acting as fertilizers and are source of essential nitrogen, phosphorus ingredients for the plants. Similarly, in agriculture, farmers have to use pesticide and insecticides to protect their crops from harmful insects or pests. These insecticides or pesticides are chemicals in their nature, and these chemicals are developed by chemists. So, chemistry plays a very important role in protecting our food, our crops. Well, fertilizers are extensively used by farmers to restore the fertility of soil in the fields. If fertilizers are not regularly added, the crops are short of necessary ingredients and the crop yields are decreased. Pesticides are used to protect the crop during farming and preserve the grains from pests, rats, and mice during storage. Similarly, genetically modified seeds, which are used to enhance production and earn profits through export of food grains, are agricultural applications of biochemistry. We store the food for a long time in reduced temperatures, under reduced temperatures. So, the refrigeration system for cold storage of vegetables and raw meat uses polyurethane foams and the chemical properties of gases, the preservatives in packaging food products are known to have adverse effect on our body, but all of these compounds, these systems involve chemistry. Chemicals are added to food for various purposes, for their preservation, to enhance their appeal, to fortify the nutritional value of the food. So, different food additives are added, and all of these food additives are chemicals in nature. There are food colors, there are uh, artificial sweeteners, artificial flavors are available, stabilizing agents are added to food. Preservatives are added to increase the shelf life of the food. Fat emulsifiers, flavor improvers, antioxidants. So all of these food additives are chemicals in nature, except for supplements like mineral, vitamins, and amino acids. Other chemicals don't have essentially the nutrition value, but they are added either to increase the shelf life of stored food or for cosmetic purposes. For example, artificial sweeteners are consumed by people who have diabetes. Natural sweeteners like sucrose add to calorie intake, and therefore many people prefer to use artificial sweeteners. Although sulfobenzamide, that is saccharin, was the first popular artificial sweetening agent. It has been in use ever since it was discovered almost 150 years ago. It is about 550 times as sweet as table sugar. So this compound saccharin, it is of great value to diabetic persons and people who need to control intake of calories. Food preservatives prevent spoilage of food due to microbial growth. The most commonly used preservatives include table salt, that is sodium chloride, sucrose or sugar, vegetable oils, and sodium benzoate. Sodium benzoate is used in limited quantities and is metabolized in the body. Salts of sorbic acid and propanoic acid are also used as preservatives. Uh, Another very interesting area where chemistry is used a lot is the cosmetics. Cosmetics are substances used to enhance the appearance or odor of human body. Uh, Makeup, that is a subset of cosmetics which refers to products intended to change the person's appearance. uh, Lipsticks, lip balms contains oils, beeswax, and perfumes. Nail polishes is made up of lacquer and consists of polymers, solvents, plasticizers, colorants, and perfumes. Mascaras have a composition based on volatile solvent, beeswax, pigments, and filmifying polymers. Even the sunscreens, lotions, creams, all of these products are the work of chemistry. Uh, Creams and lotions are emulsified products where uh, oil or beeswax or stearic acid or stearyl alcohol, uh, these are emulsified with water to produce a creamy texture, and that is applied on body or face to uh, prevent dehydration, to improve the look of the skin, and to heal the skin texture. Next important field of chemistry that I want to discuss with you are medicine. Uh, Medicines, as I told you earlier, that if you look at the leaflet that is provided with the medicine of your prescription, you will see uh, chemical structure like this that is being shown here. This is ciprofloxacin. Majority of the medicinal compounds are uh, chemicals which are either synthesized or isolated by the chemists. Chemistry is a huge part of medicine, both as a diagnostic and treatment tool. Chemistry departments in hospital medical labs analyze blood, urine for patients, sugar and other substances. Blood analysts Blood analysis tests the amount of potassium and sodium in our blood. Drugs are chemicals of low molecular masses which interact with the macromolecular targets and produce a biological response. When the biological response is therapeutic and useful, these chemicals are called medicines and are used in diagnosis, prevention, and treatment of diseases. Medicines, if taken in doses higher than the recommended, most of the drugs used as medicines are potential poisons. So, use of chemicals for therapeutic effect is called chemotherapy. For cancer patients, they use certain chemicals to treat the cancer. Uh, as I cannot emphasize more that chemistry is everywhere. Industry and transport. Wherever we look in industry, from cloth mills, leather factories, petrochemicals industries, and refineries to metal industries, all use numerous fuels for power generation and chemical products for processing their products and improve the quality and improve the equality and simultaneously produce pollution. In cloth mills, we see they use uh, artificial fiber that is made up of polymers like viscose rayon, like polyester. These are chemicals. These fibers are produced by chemical reactions. The material is produced by chemical reactions. Uh, Textile mills or textiles use certain chemicals as coating materials on the fiber on the cloth to improve the texture and look of the fiber. Similarly, the dyes which are used to impart different colors to the cloths are chemicals in nature. Either these dyes are natural or synthetic, but both categories they have chemical structures and there are some specific features in their chemical structures that impart color to the dyes, and dyes of different colors are used in textile industry to impart colors. Petrochemicals, we use gasoline, we use diesel, we use gas in our cars, in our transportation. So all of these and other petrochemicals, for example, uh, coal tar and the raw material of plastics like ethane. Ethane is used for polythene, production of polythene shopping bags. So these petrochemicals are uh, derived by the process of chemistry. Fertilizers, we have huge consumption of fertilizers in agriculture. These are chemicals in nature. Plastics are everywhere. Uh, Plastics are cheap, they are easy to use, and perhaps many plastics are recyclable. Although I'm not in favor of using plastics a lot because they cause environmental issues, but yet plastics have a large role in our lives. Refineries use chemical process to refine the petrochemicals, to refine the crude oil into useful crude oil products like gasoline, diesel, which are the source of energy. Chemistry is very often related to environment. Actually, um, chemistry has both positive and negative impact on the environment. If we look at photosynthesis, has it involves chemical reactions, but it has a positive effect on the environment because it absorbs carbon dioxide and it releases oxygen, and oxygen is required by every living body to breathe. But chemistry is often associated with environmental problems. For example, industries excrete a lot of pollutants into the soil and water, and contaminants are added into soil and water. But chemistry also offers uh, solutions to work out the pollutants in air, soil, and water. There are certain desalination processes, there are certain water remediation processes, there are certain air remediation processes which involve chemistry, and these help us to improve the quality of our environment where we are living. So all the purpose of this presentation was to introduce the community with the importance of chemistry, because majority of the people, they consider chemistry as a boring subject that is perhaps very little used in everyday life, but that is not the reality. Chemistry is a very interesting subject and it is used in everyday life. I would love to hear comments from you. You can post your comments below the video. Thank you very much.